What are the focuses of your party? Like, what does Movement Montreal like represent, and like, what is like, what do they bring to NDG? I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, well, my mandate is really going to be to address the housing crisis within the borough and trying to find solutions to keep people within the borough. There's a lot of families that are being evicted from their homes for whatever the reason, may be, whether it's landlords claiming their family members are moving back in so that the current tenant has to leave. And rent evictions is also a very kind of popular buzzword that we're hearing around the city. And so I, I want to implicate myself to protect, people from having to leave the borough. And so, I mean, Movement Montréal, I mean, we have a housing platform, and we want to introduce 30,000 new rentable homes, so affordable homes within the city, 6,000 of which are going to be dedicated to social housing. So, that's one of our mandates as far as the housing crisis and how we're going to solve that. Um, Also, steadily increasing the city's housing budget to $200 million per year, or 2% every year for the next 5 years as well. Um, Also, officially recognizing Montreal as a bilingual city is also on our platform. Um, and then as well as restructuring or looking at ways to restructure the public security budget to shift funds from there into other programs, social housing programs, social intervention programs that are geared more towards intervention to prevent crime within the city.
All right, this is gonna sound like maybe a simple question, but specifically on the renting one, which is an issue I'm passionate about myself, as I watch the rent price double and triple and go freaking. Let's say I remember when NDG, like, I live Fielding in Rosedale, and I remember when it didn't cost this much to live Fielding in Rosedale. Is what I'm trying to say. I
Right.
found out like three and a half is going for prices where I'm like raising my eyebrow at, and like, yeah, it's mad complicated with all the different issues that impact Montreal's renting situation as a whole. So how do you go about achieving that mandate here? Like, how does somebody like you actually pull that off?
It it's going to be there's no clear cut solution. I mean, the renting thing is a supply and demand, um, you know, sort of issue, right? In my opinion, I think people, and then maybe the reason for the housing, the prices and the rent where they are now is people are buying into a lot of hype. You know what I mean? So they say like this is what it's worth. But why is it worth that much? Well, just because it is, because it's scarce. Like, well, why is that? Um, I think that's one of the issues why the rents are so high. How to get them lower? I mean, maybe we can offer, tax incentives, kind of restructure, the system, how it works in terms of maybe your income is based on what the rent that you're paying, should be. Um, it's certainly going to be, a task, but we have to sit down with, professionals and the party's going to sit down together as well and look more in depth on real concrete ways that we can make that happen and keep homes affordable for the people in Côte des Neiges and DG.
I'm like, you gotta fight condo developer people, and they're like
That's
really
yeah.
powerful people. And I'm not saying it to be facetious. It's just this is what everyone's gonna think. I would imagine. Like, I'm watching. I used to live on Elmhurst when it was grimy. Well, not as super grimy, middle grimy. And now condos is up. Spurs is gone. Condo building or nice looking building. I'm like, that's weird. So as long as that keeps going on all over, where they like kind of tear stuff down and proceed to replace it with super expensive buildings, like I like, and then has an impact on things. Do you is it even like viable that you have not to like take shots. I'm sure not like as a collective, as a party, it can be done. But like, can NDG's mayor like have a significant impact in this?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think if we commit to building actually affordable, units, apartment units, um, offering, ways that developers can maybe negotiate for lower prices of materials in order to save money on the building, in order to, kind of as a bargaining chip to maybe make the rents, more affordable. It could be done that way. I mean, there is nothing affordable about condos, right? I mean, the units are expensive, the fees are expensive. When condos go up, the price of everything, around it seems to go up. Rents for small businesses go up. Small business owners have to leave the neighborhood. You're losing culture. You're losing artists. You're losing, people that make up the fabric of a great neighborhood, like, Holden and ndg. I mean, it's going to become so generic after a certain point, when all these people are forced to exit. And that's really why I want to put my foot, in the middle of it and at least try to slow it down. Yeah, and protect the borough that I'm really passionate about and that I love, sincerely. Yeah.
That's big facts. I love how like political you're saying everything. I mean, I know you have to, but like I'm like, man, I'm doing my best to watch my P's and Q's, but I'm like, yo, this guy's spinning it all like with the perfect language. I really appreciate that.